internet friends. So this week we're going to talk about one of my favorite styles that I constantly have in the back of my head whenever I'm at the thrift store, and that's color blocking. For the last few years, I feel like I have just lived in this monochromatic world. Like I'm just constantly going for this like matchy color tone, but right now I am just loving and borderline obsessed with color blocking and just telling stories with color. You're seeing it all over the place, especially at Paris and New York Fashion Week. I'm just I can't get enough of it, and it's all over my Pinterest board currently. With that in mind, those are all the looks that I'm going to be styling up today, is trying to keep color blocking in the back of my head. I think the best part about the idea of color blocking is it really just takes a basic. Like you can go for a pretty monochromatic look, but just throw in like one single pop of color and boom, suddenly it just like stands out and it's just this loud, eccentric piece. One of the color tones that I have been absolutely obsessed with lately is green. Although I'm still on the hunt for green trouser pants, I have been collecting quite a bit of green pieces. So eventually when I do find those trouser pants, I'm gonna be able to put together an epic outfit. I thrifted this Waffle Knit. It's by the brand American Eagle. I thrifted this like a little while back and I'm pretty stoked for it as far as layering pieces go. I think this is like such a good layering piece. It's just a really basic piece, slightly cropped, nothing crazy about it, but I think there's just so much that you can do with like a vibrant color tone. Obviously, we're in that season right now where we're going from winter to spring, and it's like that awkward stage where it's not quite warm enough outside to wear just, you know, casual clothing. Like you still have to layer up. So I think throwing on some layers and just using that like matchy and then a pop of color just tells such a good story with color tones. So I started off with something a little basic. I just did the red trouser pants and styled up that lime green top, and it was like perfection. We're, you know, dipping our feet in with color stories. We're just like testing out the waters. Next up, I wanted to try out the layering aspect of this look, and I just threw on that sweater vest that I've been digging for so long. I featured this in multiple videos, but this sweater vest is like really carrying me through. It's such a good look. I think the red on red just really complements that like pop of color. Okay, this next piece is the coveted bustier corset top. I feel like I'm seeing this everywhere right now, and it's not quite the like typical bustier top that I think everybody's looking for. I'm seeing this new trend with a little curve at the bottom, and like there's like a specific shape right now that I'm seeing on all of these corset tops. So I was really excited that this specific piece kind of has a hint of it. Like it's not perfect. It's not the exact look that I'm going for, but this just paired with just about any color, I think is like just the pop of color story that I'm going for. So, of course, I had to challenge myself and go with the lime green. Like lime green and red, there's something about it. It just goes together. It's a good complementary look. I have this Zara dress that I actually had in my inventory for a really long time. So it was listed in my store. Nobody bought it. And honestly, it was lime green. And I was like, you know what? This is going in my closet. I'm just gravitating towards those like neon bold color tones right now. Because it's plaid on plaid too, I thought that just like went together. And then of course, because I'm trying to do this whole layering thing, I thought 3 layers. Let's do the dress, the thermal, and then the corset. And you know, honestly, I'm digging the whole look. I think it goes really well together. It's just this like vibrant color tone. And also, not to mention, the corset kind of cinches in the waist a little bit and makes the dress kind of puff out. Gives me like very 1980s vibes. There's something going on, kind of Vivienne Westwood-esque, like very just, you know, pop punk kind of vibes going on. And I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. This next look, I kind of wanted to bring down the color tone just a little bit. Like the green and the red is a good solid pop, but I think a pink just brings it down a notch, you know? It gives you something a little bit more subtle. This jacket, I've actually had in my collection for quite a while. I got this when I was in LA. It's a quilted, kind of like house chore coat kind of thing, just like a cropped little, you know, 1960s number. But this, I kind of talked about it in the last video, how much I'm digging kind of pink and greens together. I think it's just like such a good, solid color combination. Okay, next up is this sweater that I have on right now. I thrifted this last week as well. It says University of Sydney. And 100% it is gonna be the sweater that I wear to death now. I always have one sweater that I have like on heavy rotation, and it's always like a perfect crew neck vintage sweater. And I've noticed lately, it's like all the travel sweaters. Like I had the London, England one, I have another London, England one, and then and now the Sydney one. But there's something about like, you know, going places sweaters. But I think this color blue is so easy to match. There's so much that you can do with this. So I did multiple different looks with this sweater. One of the biggest trends that I'm seeing right now though is cobalt blue, which I am absolutely in love with this. This is like one shade darker than cobalt blue, but my favorite color tone to go with cobalt blue is definitely red, hands down. Like that is just such a good color tone. I actually, oddly enough, didn't do any red with this though, just because this isn't quite cobalt, like it's close, but it's not quite there. So the first look that I did was this dress form skirt. I've been talking about this a lot, but I absolutely love the skirt sweater combo right now. So I did 2 skirt sweater combos with this look. I'm just digging the printed look of the skirt mixed with just kind of the, you know, boldness of the sweater. It just goes hand in hand. And then next up, another good solid color combo for blue is burnt orange. This look, I think these colors just go so well together. Burnt orange, blue, you got yourself a winner. And of course, you know, I had to break out the burnt orange trouser pants. Like these are just, oof, you know, I don't get enough use out of them. So I'm like, let's throw them in as many YouTube videos as I possibly can. And then last but not least is this maxi skirt. The last time I styled up this look, I actually did like a very, I wanna say I called it the Charlotte of Sex and the City look. Like it's very Charlotte-esque. But this sweater, I think, does that combination that I am currently obsessed with, and that is the maxi skirt with the oversized sweater. Now, I think what really made this look work, though, was throwing in the shoes. The New Balance shoes that I have, they have that dark blue color tone mixed in them, so I was able to do that color combination together, and it just pops. It just has this, like, really solid color story going on. Okay, this next look is actually a Contempo Casuals top, which is one of my favorite brands to thrift as far as vintage goes. Contempo Casuals was always a classic. This, I believe, is like a 1990s, probably early 2000s, but it is that jewel tone color that I have been searching high and low for. This first look, I wasn't too stoked about it. I mean, it's definitely telling a color story, but it was just, you know, I honestly think it was like a little too monochromatic for me. I mean, it is monochromatic because it's matching green on green, but it just didn't have like enough of a pop for me. So I went with it, but I was like, oh no, Laura, we can do slightly better than this. So I decided the whole reason I wanted to get this top, like this specific jewel tone color top, is because I have these purple trouser pants. And I have just been seeing this look everywhere. Like it is all over the place right now, but that is the green and purple jewel tone color combination. It is just like taking over. So I finally feel like I conquered that look with this color tone combination. And then next up, I feel like I've been seeing crochet everywhere. Crochet is definitely one of the bigger trends right now. So I found this sweater at the thrift store recently and I was like, oh heck yes, this is gonna be a good color story. So I figured because I had the jewel tone purple pants out, I was like, I mean, we can do something with that. We can make that work together. And honestly, the light pink and the purple, it works. It's very, you know, Easter vibes, but you know, we're going into spring. So that's just the vibes that we're gonna be working with. Okay, and then next up is this pastel beauty. I knew I was gonna need something that is gonna be still a comfy, cozy sweater, but still kind of something that's gonna keep me warm. And I knew this specific look, I wanted to do biker shorts with this. Like it's just comfy casual enough that I think the biker shorts are gonna be such a good look. Plus it's such a good, like, you know, in-between piece. Like I was talking about earlier, like we're in that in-between phase where it's like, oh man, it's a little bit too cold outside, but oh man, I can't wear a t-shirt yet. So the biker shorts, oversized sweater combination is just, you know, it's one of my favorite looks regardless, but I get the feeling this, because it's such a bold color, it's just, you know, it's gonna be on heavy rotation for me, guaranteed. Okay, and then this next look, I kind of surprised myself. I thought for sure I was gonna keep this just because it's the jewel tones that I keep talking about. And the tag on it is like, oh man, it is a good vintage tag. It's one of those like gauzy India rayon vibes. Oof, like, you know, the fabric is just so, so good. I thought for sure I was gonna keep it, but I'm actually gonna put that one in my store, which, speaking of, I do have a Poshmark store, shameless self-promotion. That specific outfit, like I wore the top in a recent video, and for some reason I just kept looking at it and I was like, that color tone, it just doesn't, there was something about it that I was like, I don't think it's gonna be on rotation in my closet. So I'm gonna part ways with it, but man, oh man, that is like good quality vintage. And the last piece that I picked up for myself that I wanted to do a specific color story with. Brown hat, brown trouser pants, and then this blue pop of color. It's just gonna be a perfect look. But I am obsessed with this hat. Like, I am all for bucket hats lately, and this bad boy definitely going in my collection. I'm here for it. That is all for this week's styling video. I'm pretty obsessed with all these color tones. Like I said, I'm so happy to kind of see that monochromatic phase that I was in coming to a close. Like, don't get me wrong, there's still a time and a place for it, but I think right now it's just so much fun to see all these vibrant color tones everywhere. Like, there's just so many pops of colors, and it's just a lot of fun to test out and see what kind of color combinations work together. So, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.